Joining me now is Illinois Congressman Adam Kinzinger of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. He joins us now. Congressman, good to see you, and thanks for coming on this morning. So, what do you think about the way the president is responding here, now threatening to not even meet with Vladimir Putin over these rising tensions?
Yeah, I think it's good so far. I won't be terribly upset if he doesn't cancel the meeting. I think he should probably cancel it. But if he doesn't, he has to be very cautious to go into this very steely-eyed, not trying to be Putin's friend. You know, the last direct meeting with Putin didn't go too well. And so this is an opportunity to actually make it go pretty strongly. And I think making it clear that the power that the United States has, comparing the fact that Russia is not the old Soviet Union. In fact, they're a declining economy, declining population with a military that, you know, got shot down, lost a plane by Bashar al-Assad, got shot down by the Turks, and lost 200 mercenaries to the U.S. military. This is not our equal, and so the president has a lot of leverage if he does meet with them.
You know, that is one way to show that he doesn't like the aggression coming from Russia, the president, that is. Is there another way, perhaps? The president of Ukraine has given this interview, and he is asking President Trump to deliver a pointed message to Putin. What more could President Trump do to show that?
Well, I think remind Putin what he's already done. This is actually one of the more hawkish administrations against the Russians in a long time. President Obama basically gave not even joking, gave blankets to the Ukrainian army as aid. President Trump has authorized lethal aid. I think more lethal aid. I think partnerships with the National Guard or the United States military to help train the Ukrainian military. So making it clear that places like Georgia, places like Ukraine, and Eastern Europe are our allies, and we will stand with them. If you're a NATO partner, which Ukraine isn't, but if you're a NATO partner, we'll defend you with Article 5. If you're an associated partner like Ukraine, we're going to do everything we can to train your military to defend yourself. So there has to be a cost to Vladimir Putin for his aggression. I also think maybe if we have the ability to right now, steaming some ships into the Black Sea to make it clear that we're there.
Interesting. Senator Ron Johnson joined us earlier on the program and said this.
This is a situation where Vladimir Putin, he sees the results of the U.S. elections. He sees the weakened state of Macron and Merkel and of the British Prime Minister as well. And so he's testing the West. He's going to see how we react. So we must react with real strength and resolve.
So we'll see if that meeting with Putin takes place. Otherwise, the president will be meeting with a number of world leaders from Argentina, China, South Korea, Japan. What do you expect to come out of this G20?
Well, I think it'll be a good opportunity for the president to say, on the area of the economy, we're going to defend our trading rights. We're free traders, but we're fair traders. We have to be treated with the same respect. I think talking about partnerships with these nations, whether it's fighting narco-terrorism, actual terrorism, whether it's pushing back against Russian aggression, strengthening our partnerships, but saying there's a cost to this partnership, which is you have to do your part as well. That's important for NATO to recognize countries like Germany that spend significantly less on their GDP, on their military than what they promised. So sending that tough message may not make people all happy because they like an America that basically looks at them and says, do whatever you want, we're going to be here anyway. But I think the president's correct in saying you have to carry your share of the bargain. We have an outsized weight in the world, but you got to do your part too.
Meanwhile, take the moment to now, and we are told now that Secretaries Mattis and Pompeo have arrived on Capitol Hill. They're going to be giving this briefing to all the senators. Obviously, Yemen is going to be one of the big topics, but expected to come up as well as the killing of the columnist Jamal Khashoggi, a discussion on Ukraine. This is an incredibly important briefing that is about to begin, and we could hear from Pompeo shortly after. Your expectations there?
Well, I expect somebody like Rand Paul to come out and say how, he wants to completely cut off relations with Saudi Arabia. He's been saying that forever. But the reality is, yes, this was a terrible act by the Saudis. But when you compare that with what is done everywhere in the Middle East, you cannot fundamentally shift your alliances on that basis. It's a terrible thing. But by the way, Iran, Syria, Russia, there's 500,000 dead Syrians right now, 50,000 of which are children, because of that real axis of evil in Syria.
What does the absence of the CIA director, Gina Haspel, tell you?
What does this say again?
Gina Haspel will not be there. She did not respond or confirm that she would be there.
Yeah, I don't know what it means. I mean, maybe she doesn't want to be. Maybe she has stuff going on. But I think having Pompeo and Mattis there, that's like the A team. They're going to get all the answers that I think the administration is willing to give or can give. And but I do expect some senators to come out and grandstand afterwards. But the reality is we cannot fundamentally shift our alliance, because if you go away from Saudi Arabia, you're going to Iran, and I can point to 1,000 things they've done that are 10 times worse than anything Saudi Arabia has.
Well, all 100 senators are about to be briefed, so we await that. Thank you very much, Congressman.